Salutations and greetings, EgoHackers. Welcome to today's video where we'll be discussing the third of the 8 cognitive attitudes, the child. The child is innocent, energetic, and has an aspect best characterized as divine. But the child is also extremely gullible and naive. Though usually pure-intentioned, the child can be entitled and arrogant if it is spoiled. Archetypally, the 8 cognitive attitudes within our psyches can be interpreted as an entire family. The child's health and potency, for example, will be correlated with the development of the other functions. If the child is spoiled, it's likely caused by the parent's underdevelopment. One of the most enjoyable interactions is when our hero and child work together. They are the two optimistic functions in our ego, and when either the child or the hero is engaged, the other wants to join in too. But what is the purpose of the child? Ultimately, the child can become mature and turn responsible in a person's subconscious. But while that may be the journey of the child, it is not its purpose. For a human being, even when they are covered with darkness, perhaps in the lowest parts of their life, the child is the only function whose light will never be completely extinguished. Even if it's a little bead or a dim beam of light, the child will still produce light, and that is because the child has an innocence that cannot be tainted completely. The purpose of the child, then, is to remain lit even in the darkest moments of our lives, and to use that light to be an example to our families, those close to us, and even to humanity at large, to be a source of transformative power. The child can push the bounds of what is possible. This is not to say the child cannot be corrupted. It absolutely can be, usually due to its naivete. But even when it is corrupted, its innocence can always be found again. But what does the child actually offer? Is there something about the child that can make it especially effective at its task? Absolutely. And as we go into all 8 expressions of the child, you will start to see where its true capabilities lie. The 8 child functions. TE child. ESFPs and ENFPs have a source of innocence when it comes to influencing others' beliefs. The innocence of ESFPs and ENFPs makes them play with other people's perceptions. They are seeking to be regarded highly by others because extroverted thinking, TE, is seeking to be uplifted by other people's introverted thinking, or TI. In other words, they want others to be thoughtful toward them. Because ESFPs and ENFPs are unaware of the truth due to TI trickster, they have to gather up what other people think in order to understand what they think. They excel at research and have an uncanny ability to siphon through different books, articles, datasheets, etc. in order to weigh out and find the gold in each source. The ESFP and ENFP then find connections with their TE child that other people simply cannot see. This is obvious for the ENFP who, with their NE hero, is the most abstract of all the types and easily finds patterns in research. But this is also true for the ESFP, but the patterns they see are based more on concrete reality, where they see patterns of action and behavior that correlate with the research they do. Entitled ESFPs and ENFPs believe they deserve high status simply for existing. They can childishly treat others as less than, all while feeling superior. But a mature ESFP and ENFP know that status is the result of quality work, generosity, and compassion. Mature TE childs go out of their way to do research and reading, where they sharpen their child's ability to understand others, to understand systems, to find the corruption in our institutions, and to reveal the principles for personal success that lead to a better life. TI child. ISFJs and INFJs have a source of innocence when it comes to their own thinking and honesty. ISFJs and INFJs struggle to process a lot of external information quickly. They aren't aware of what other people think, and they struggle to understand the nature of data and quality research without a lot of practice. But when the ISFJ and INFJ are given time and space to think things through, they arrive at conclusions with an innocent process that strips away unnecessary confusion. There is a purity to their thinking that is not found elsewhere. But it's not just their thinking, but their innocent commitment to radical honesty that gives TI child its divine aura. Entitled ISFJs and INFJs, however, think that they know everything. They also often overexpose themselves in the name of virtue and may lack tact entirely. They may believe that whatever is going through their head is automatically liquid gold. They become entitled to others' ears, believing that everyone should be listening to them and coming to them for insight and for answers. These ISFJs and INFJs often find themselves alone and alienated from others because of their entitlement and closed-mindedness. But a mature ISFJ and INFJ know how to listen and especially how to ask questions. Questions cover the blind spot of their TE trickster, who doesn't know what others think. A humble and mature ISFJ and INFJ understand that they don't always have to share their thoughts, and realize that not everything in their head is liquid gold. Instead of believing that they already have the truth, they go on a journey to verify the truth from every possible angle. If they walk this journey, they will find it. It is worth noting that even mature ISFJs and INFJs can still be alienating. It is the nature of TI users to be alienating because TI is logic, and the truth can make others stay away from them. These two types need to be careful that when they are alienating, they are doing it through a humble TI child. In the final analysis, it is true that some people cannot handle the truth. FE child. ESTPs and ENTPs have a source of innocence when it comes to understanding and dealing with other people's emotions. The ESTP and ENTP are often extremely compassionate, though in a childlike way. But in this childlike way, these types have an uncanny ability to not only make other people feel better, often through gifts and shared experiences, but to actually heal people. In a general sense, this goes for all the types. The child function can be a source of healing for others. But FE child, in particular, with their extroverted feeling, care, and compassion they have for others, it almost seems otherworldly. Many people can't believe that something like FE child is even possible. They can be so innocent and giving with their compassion that they often don't expect anything in return. People are often suspicious of them and project motives that are not there. Culturally speaking, FE child is the most rejected of all the child functions. An entitled FE child, however, believes it can heal and help everyone, maybe even better than anyone else. The child can be very strong, but it is often narrow in its sight. Further, FE childs often believe they deserve an infinite amount of appreciation and gratitude from others as a result of their self-sacrifice. Immature ESTPs and ENTPs only try to make others feel better without actually helping them become better. It is only when an ESTP or ENTP matures that they see healing others is very complicated. But an FE child who learns the true nature of healing becomes the light that shines into people's lives and reflects some of the best pieces of humanity. And in the innocence of their compassion, they will find those who deeply appreciate and highly favor them. FI child. ISTJs and INTJs have one of the most polarizing of all the child functions. Their FI child often exists in extremes, extremely sympathetic and moral, or extremely selfish and dismissive. One of the reasons FI child is so polarizing is because of its idealism. FI child types are among the most idealistic of all 16. They feel their convictions with extreme potency and sensitivity. Their moods, emotions, values, and their moral perspectives are treasured highly by them. The innocence of the ISTJ and INTJ is in both the childlike conviction they possess regarding their morals and values, as well as their own sensitivity to their internal world of emotions, expressiveness, and personal philosophy. Introverted feeling is one of the main functions that deals with personal expression, and FI child has a unique way of capturing their own truth through the beauty and purity of their expression. However, ISTJs and INTJs can be entitled to other people's care. FI childs live under the assumption that their feelings and their values are all that matter. If there is an image in the encyclopedia for entitled, immature ISTJs and INTJs would likely be in that picture. FI childs can have a superiority complex that diminishes the humanity of others. But when ISTJs and INTJs find the balance between being selfish and selfless, where they're able to express themselves without preventing others from doing the same, their introverted feeling will be a source of renewal to those around them, and their strong moral sense will be a light to others. Any child. ESFJs and ESTJs have their source of innocence when it comes to pathfinding for others. ESFJs and ESTJs love to give others what they want. They actively search out the desires of others so that they can provide a path forward for that person. The essence of any child is providing innocent and divine freedom. The other side of any child is NI trickster, which effectively stumps ESFJs and ESTJs from knowing what they want. ESFJs and ESTJs are oblivious to their own desires, but this obliviousness feeds directly into their NE child, making the choices they give to others open-handed and often helpful. Another aspect of any child is desirability. ESFJs and ESTJs want others to want them. In order to make themselves desirable, they mold and adjust to what others want. What all ESFJs and ESTJs need to know is that the source of their desirability comes from their habits, experiences, and strength from their SI parent. Being strong makes your NE child desirable. One of the struggles for these types is separating their own sense of purpose and direction from others' desires. However, when done healthily, the ESFJ and ESTJ can become among the most desired people to have around. When people think, who should we invite? An NE child almost always rises to the top. What is the dark side of any child? It is being entitled to others' desires. You should want me is a belief that an entitled any child has. Further, they may think people owe them desire because of how giving they are with choices. These types need to become aware that they are feeling owed by others. An entitled any child also believes that they can see every consequence of the future. They may snide at types like the INTP and INFP who are very cautious about avoiding bad consequences. Immature ESFJs and ESTJs can believe that they know what is always best for others and even the world. While there is divinity in any child, when it is arrogant about the future, they can actually destroy others' futures instead of saving them. But when any child is developed and doesn't believe they are owed desire, nor do they assume they can see all ends of the future, there will always be someone who wants them, and sometimes they will even find secret paths for others that no one else can see. NI child. ISFPs and ISTPs have their source of innocence in their desire. Other NI users have sources of strong desire, sure, but no one has purer desire than the NI child of the ISTP and ISFP. But NI isn't just about desire in one's personal vision. It is also one of the functions that finds a way through obstacles. ISFPs and ISTPs have an uncanny ability to find ways through obstacles. Because they believe nothing is impossible, they often make the impossible possible. They are the embodiment of divine freedom, always searching for the freedom to move about and pursue things they want. Another way to think of NI child is a divine pathwalker. NE users are more pathfinders. They etch out potential pathways, but NI users choose a single path and find a way through. NI child always finds a way. When ISFPs and ISTPs want you, they really want you. Their desire is like casting a spell on others, where the object or person of their desire is entranced with the divine desire of NI child. Few can resist this spell. An entitled ISFP and ISTP, however, demand freedom without accepting the consequences of their choices. An immature NI child wants all the freedom and none of the responsibility. This can manifest in endless impulsivity, jumping from desire to desire. The result is when the ISFP and ISTP leave countless messes and broken things behind them, and they won't even look at the damage they've caused. Immature ISFPs and ISTPs become convinced that no one else's freedom matters but their own, and won't even think about other people's experiences until their own choices are secured. However, as an ISFP and ISTP mature, they accept responsibility in their life with a certain delight, knowing that freedom is being produced with every disciplined action and thought they take. Armed with the strength of maturity, their desire burns in a more controlled way, and their light will never go out. SE child. ENFJs and ENTJs have their source of innocence in giving others unforgettable experiences. ENFJs and ENTJs are natural performers who have a natural sense for what works when it comes to other sensory experiences. The food, the dress, the wine, the perfume, the performance, all of it is wielded naturally and divinely by SE child. In the same way TE child wants to stimulate others' minds, FE child wants to make people feel better, NE child wants to give others what they want, SE child extracts attention from others through performance. ENFJs and ENTJs love to make other people comfortable, whether it be getting others a drink, a blanket, or constantly checking in on how someone's doing. SE child is the epitome of smothering when it comes to the five senses, and the SI users who they are compatible with are built to be smothered by the ENFJ and the ENTJ. SE child is looking for attention and loyalty. While this is true for all SE users, SE child has this constant attribute that makes their SE an endless extractor of attention. They also take pride in their ability in competitions, sports, and anything that involves the expression of their talents. Performance is an avenue they use to secure attention. Entitled ENFJs and ENTJs believe they deserve the attention of others for taking care of others' needs. SE child may believe they are simply the best at performing just because performance comes naturally to them. Less mature ENFJs and ENTJs over-rely on their natural talent and don't put in an effort to improve. However, as SE child becomes more grounded, they begin to understand the importance of practice and routine as they directly influence their SE child's ability to perform. A developed SE child is not entitled to attention. They also learn that sometimes comforting another is not always what a person's deepest need is. There, the SE child learns how to build up strength in others, not just give them great experiences. SI child. INFPs and INTPs have their source of innocence when it comes to loyalty. No one is more openly loyal than SI child. While other types may have greater strength in loyalty or a greater fear of being disloyal, INFPs and INTPs often give away their divine loyalty for free. They have a divine peace within their child that is attentive to those around them. SI childs are innocent and giving with their attention, experiences, and commitment. SI child is also seeking sensations. This is one of the reasons INFPs and INTPs are so compatible with ENFJs and ENTJs. That SE child to SI child interaction is literal bliss to these types. INFPs and INTPs want to experience everything. They want to develop their tastes in food, drink, hobbies, games, books, sex, movies, entertainment, and even the specific fabric for their blankets. SI child is all about gathering and consuming the experiences that get the INFP and INTP going. They love when people are attentive to their experience and go out of their way so that the INFP and INTP are not only comfortable but satisfied. Of course, SI child, constantly being on, isn't satisfied for long. Entitled INFPs and INTPs believe people owe them good experiences. They may exchange their loyalty for sensory enjoyment from others. If I'm loyal to you, I should be comfortable, may be part of their mindset. This may be fair, but INFPs and INTPs, both being informative behind-the-scenes types, are not always direct or clear with the implicit deals they have with others. Immature SI childs use their loyalty as a bargaining chip. However, when INFPs and INTPs find the balance between maintaining personal boundaries, i.e., not unwillingly tolerating discomfort, and being loyal and disciplined, they gain access to a divine expression of loyalty, routine, trust, and strength. They become a rock that others can lean on to get through storms. How do I know for sure if my child is being entitled? The easiest way to tell if your child is developed is if you use your critic function at all. For reasons we will get into later, the critic's development or underdevelopment often correlates with the child's level of entitlement. A first step in developing the critic, however, is in developing the parent. Both the parent and the critic, together, subject the child to growth, refinement, and ultimately maturity. However, many people's child functions have been so damaged by their families, friends, coworkers, life experiences, and even society at large that what many people need is to just reconnect with their child and give it the space to run and play. The child must be protected because it is the little light that can guide humanity forward in the utter darkness. If we protect our own and others' children, there will be a lot more light to go around. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time where we discuss each type's deepest vulnerability in their inferior function.